Alrighty then. Hello and good morning. It's a brand new month and the first Monday of the new week. So time to reflect on how the year has gone so far.
Yeah, just about 7 more weeks to go in the year 2019. It's the 4th of November. Exciting times ahead, as many are already feeling the Ember season.
Yes, sir.
Ember.
I started feeling it from September, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, so I mean, Christmas decors will start coming up even more now. You know, 1 or 2 places to start with, but yeah, let's see how it goes this month of November.
Yeah, so we're all counting down to the end of the year. We're here to ensure that every single day of the month of November is a memorable one just for you. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
Yeah, and I'm Yomi Ope. I feel like we should say a prayer.
What?
To everyone watching us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For everyone watching
us.
Let's
place hands on them. Oh, yeah, let's go.
Why are you laying hands on?
That was your
just
thing.
A prayer. Just a prayer.
Okay.
Pray that the month of November will be great, prosperous, and make lots of progress.
Now, as you felt that, just stay with that flow and stream with us. That's tvcentertainment.tv and, of course, on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Yeah, send in your comments across our social media platforms with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yeah, so all the amens should just have hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
I like that. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Amen. Hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Of course, our app is also available for download for Android and iOS Play stores. Now, with that app, you can join us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. 3 hours of pure entertainment. Kitchen, lots of stuff, cars, this week in history.
The way you're running through this thing, you know what, let's give everybody a breakdown. We have a musical performance that will be starting us off, and we'll be joined by singer-songwriter Michael King. He'll be performing the song, Fone.
And then, for the latest in the world of technology, Mike has some updates for us today.
And then we'll be taking a trip, or should we say a stroll down memory lane with most of the historical events that took place in history this week. And
for a second musical performance, you know it's one of our favorite staples on the show. Joining us is a pizza. Is that pizza or pizza? Pizza.
You know, I know, you know.
Joining us for motivation is the founder of Wellbeing Consultant Africa and host of Deep Soul, Mr. Stephen Omojuigbe. Now, your questions are the key. Find out what that means very, very soon.
And Yomi Bosude is back with us on the show, the auto segment, and he will be talking about child safety. This is really, really important. Many people don't pay attention to this. But how do you keep your child safe in a car?
Such a great topic. And on SME, we have the Managing Director of Fuel and Uncommon Marketing Communications. Wow, it's an agency that sells only unpopular ideas. Adetunji Abioye will be in the building.
Fuel.
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 Fuel. Fuel. Fuel.
Oh, man.
November. Moyomi. Yeah, you want to say something?
No, no, go ahead.
I love the way you started the show. It's a new month, and man, look, when I listened to Kanye West's album, I got the whole album. I've gone over this weekend. I've gone through the album like 3-4 times. I have a favorite, the second track, and I like the way he is talking about his reliance on God, man. Even over there. Here, man, we need that reliance much more than ever. So at any opportunity you have, pray and, bring the blessings down. So November, it's going to be a great month.
I've been finding it entertaining what he's been doing. He did something with, what's this guy that does the couple karaoke? What's his name?
Can't get the name at the moment.
Yeah, but he did an airplane karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, but I haven't seen it.
And that was epic. So a whole choir on a plane singing songs from his new album.
Very nice.
And it was just so...
Good. It was good.
It felt like, that whole sound just made everything really, really come together. And I kind of see the sincerity behind it. Whether it's going to last, is now the other issue. But as of right now,
Yeah,
he's in
Kanye.
the spirit.
In the spirit.
Like right now, as in now, this 2019 November, he's in the spirit.
So you guys were out this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night. Yeah.
Yes, James Corden is the
Oh yeah, the carpool karaoke guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll talk about that for
Kitchen.
and coffee, just maybe part of it. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I think it had this nostalgic feel. So if you're an old Nollywood person, you like this movie.
Yeah.
You know, it
Even if
had.
you're not.
Even if you're not,
new.
okay, so, you know, new Nollywood, many people are used to fun, let's party, there's a lot of laughter, comedy a lot.
Yeah.
But this brought you back to, you know, those ritual kind of thingy, you know? Yeah, exactly.
No.
I love the way, the note it started on, it had that old Nollywood feel. A little bit scary, you might not want the kids maybe to watch this one.
no, maybe
You might not want the kids to
Yeah.
see Living in Bondage. We're talking about Living in Bondage, by the way.
Yeah.
You might not want the kids to see this one.
Well, we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we have pictures from.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
Possibly,
if
but
we
across
get
the week,
pictures,
we
yeah.
have some few pictures and we'll talk about it. But it was good, great one for Ramsey Noah. So how about you? How's your weekend?
The weekend was busy. Okay, so my kids had been on me about something, taking them out. Like I don't ever take them out and everything. So I had to do that on Saturday morning. But I had a busy day with church. We have a conference coming up next week.
Okay.
So I had to do that, and you know, so it was
so
fun.
many
It was,
caps. It's interesting. It's always interesting. You had a lot of caps. Yeah.
So yeah, true.
Yeah. We have to.
Juxtaposing,
Yeah.
pulling all through. all of
balance,
that.
creating a balance.
Yeah.
Really important.
On that note, we need to go for our news update. And of course, Ibrahim is on standby.
Hi, TT. Our President Muhammad Buhari has approved the extension of the closure of Nigeria's land borders to the 31st of January. The closure is a move to curb smuggling and protect local industries, especially agriculture, where the government says local farmers have been prospering since the borders were shut. Some borders were first closed without warning on August the 20th, and a total closure followed last month. The closure of the land borders has been hard on traders involved in cross-border commerce, but the government has been defending its decision. The Customs Service says it has led to a reduction in smuggling. Illegal importation of substandard goods has reduced, and that products like petrol are no longer diverted abroad. Customs say this means people now use their seaports, which has led to a revenue increase. There has also been a boost in the sale of locally produced rice and a reduction in human trafficking. Now, on the negative side, critics say the closure of the border is a breach of the ECOWAS protocol and on the free movement of persons and goods. It could also undermine the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, to which Nigeria is a signatory. These all add up to a reduction in inter-Africa trade and could also lead to diplomatic friction. Now to the war on terror. The Air Task Force of Operation Lafayette Dole has destroyed an Islamic State of West Africa province hideout and killed some of the group's fighters at Rena Siki on the fringes of the Lake Chad in Borno State. The Air Force spokesman says the feat was accomplished after intelligence reports indicated the settlement was used as a staging area to launch attacks against land forces. Air Commodore Ibikule Daramola further says some ISWAP vehicles were spotted under some trees on Friday, and the fighter jets were sent to attack the location. The following day, another strike was conducted after some activities by the ISWAP fighters was observed in another part of the settlement. And the Nigerian Army has discarded plans to commence a nationwide exercise codenamed Operation Positive Identification, which will require Nigerians to show proof of their citizenship to soldiers. Acting Director, Nigerian Army Public Relations Colonel Sagre Musa, in a statement, described the report as mischievous. He explained that it emanated from a fictitious group, BRICS Company, which has nothing to do with the Army. On October the 8th, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai had announced that the Operation Positive Identification, which is already in force in Northeast, will be extended to other parts of the country. The Chief of Army Staff said the exercise was to uncover people with questionable identities and curtail the movement of bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, ethnic militia, and other criminal elements. The Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission says some contractors are sponsoring attacks against its audit of the agency. The committee, however, pledges commitment to carrying out a thorough forensic audit despite the said attacks. Our correspondent, Habida Lawal, reports.
President Buhari directed a forensic audit of the Niger Delta Development Commission during a closed-door meeting with governors of the region's 9 oil-producing states. This is against the backdrop of the region's condition, not justifying the huge resources spent on its development projects over the years. A steering committee has subsequently been inaugurated to oversee the Commission's affairs pending conclusion of the audit. The move has generated mixed reactions, with some groups applauding it, while others feel responsibilities of the Commission and that of the Niger Delta Ministry are different.
Somebody who is particularly interested, a major contractor in the NDDC, who is a member of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he alone has 300 jobs in the NDDC, 300 contracts. Of the 300 contracts, he has been paid 120, has been paid, fully paid, and he has not mobilized to site for this 120. The remaining is what he is now using to mobilize thugs in the Niger Delta to go and instigate people to start to prevent the audit.
NDDC particular from inception as ordered by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. We are also in support of the interim management of the NDDC as recently inaugurated by the Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs to manage the process, the forensic audit, and to reposition the NDDC before the inauguration of the incoming board.
The Interim Management Committee is concerned that the NDDC is currently indebted to some contractors to the tune of over 3 trillion naira. It alleges that some contractors are trying to frustrate its efforts, most severe of attacks coming from a serving lawmaker who was awarded over 300 million naira worth of contracts. About 10 firms would be engaged to conduct the forensic audit. Habida Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, flights to and from New Delhi's international airport were delayed and diverted as pollution reached unbearable levels, leaving the Indian capital blanketed with heavy smog. More than 30 flights, including at least one international journey, were diverted on Sunday from the city's Indira Gandhi International Airport. In many areas of Delhi, air quality deteriorated into the hazardous category with the potential to cause respiratory illnesses. Low visibility caused more than 30 flights to be diverted on Sunday. And that's it on the news update for this hour. We'll take a break and return with sport news with Mike.
Thanks so much, Mike. Lots of stories in the papers.
Quite a few.
This Monday.
I have the Nation newspaper here with me. It says, how Edo government organized attack by Oshomole. Knocks for national chair, Obaseki over state APC crisis. Now, the story starts on the cover there and continues on page 7. Right at the top here, it says, Senator handling 300 NDDC projects. Agency owes 3 trillion naira. PDP, we're yet to zone offices for 2023, it says. Governors not divided. Obona Obla fired for going beyond brief. VP behind my sack, it says. 8 held as Army foils Boko Haram bid to attack Lagos. No cause for alarm, Army, police insist. And I'll wrap it with this. It says, no date yet to reopen borders, says Customs. Continued on page 8. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
We have The Guardian here, and the headline, How Government Agencies Flout TSA Policy. Experts seek to end leakages as receipts hit 10 trillion naira. And PDP not decided on 2023 presidential candidates and accuses APC of plotting crisis in primary. And a few other stories at the top here. Court grants Interstellar worldwide asset freezing order over $285 million judgment debt. Government can't cow us over IPPIS ASU vows. And government extends border closure to 2020. Wow. And on the Metro section, page 12 of The Guardian, police arrest couple for buying 2 toddlers.
Goodness me.
Yeah, anyway, they need to, there's some explanation is required there. Anyway, you can find that story on page 12, and that's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
The Vanguard newspaper is next. It says minimum wage. Governors that can't pay should be impeached, says the NLC. Alleges they all charter private jets at least twice, thrice weekly. Meets tomorrow in Abuja on consequential adjustment. At the top here, it says, Papa gridlock, no respite in sight. Traffic robbers return. Page 10 has more on that. And on the border closure, Customs clarifies directive, dismisses extension of partial closure till January 31st, 2020. That's quite a while. It says the reps here want $1 billion from ECA for completion of Ajaokuta Steel Complex. Jakonde, Aduwo, others mourn Mobology Johnson. Attack on me masterminded by Edo government, says Oshomole. Investigate attack, Edo government tasks Oshomole. And that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Let's take a look at the Nigerian Tribune. Niger Delta lost $1.35 billion to oil theft in 2019 first quarter. Wow. And that's from Obaseki there. Supremacy battle rages over amnesty program, and top politicians mount pressure on Buhari to sack Dokubo for Otuaro. And moves on to stop Delta from adding program to NDDC, and APC stakeholders demand a return of NDDC to SGF's office. Over here, we have Chief Whip, FRSC orders probe of controversial number plate. I don't have official car yet, Chief Whip says. And school feeding, ICPC arrests 2 over alleged 68 million naira fraud. And this money is meant for feeding school children.
Goodness me.
And wife arrested for buying 2 kids for 140,000 naira. 2 whole children.
Wow. And
then federal government extends border closure till January 2020. A closure of land borders bad for MSMEs. Abuja Chambers says it's becoming unbearable. LCCI says as well. Up here we have a few other stories. Attack on Obaseki, Oba Akiolu. What triggered mayhem, Oshomole says. And denies any involvement. Condemnation trails attack. And over here we have, you cannot dictate to Benue. Autumn tells Miyeti Allah. And Kogi Bayelsa, political parties behaving as if election is war, INEC says. And pay minimum wage or vacate office, Labour tells government. And that's what we have on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune.
We have the Daily Sun newspaper here. Excuse me. It says, borders remain shut indefinitely. Presidency says few strategic objectives for closure not yet achieved. It has helped check firearms influx, say the DSS. Python dance, how I outwitted soldiers, according to Kanu, says it took him 1 year to enter Israel. Obaseki Oshomole spar over Iyamo attacks. He came to my house uninvited, says party chair. Senate to grill CBN over differential exchange rates for projects. Nigeria loses $7 billion oil bunkering investment deal to Ghana. Others. That's $1.5 billion PSC bill. Fear grips Nigeria over loss of fresh existing investments. I'll wrap it with this. Edo police arrest 3 soldiers and civilian for alleged kidnapping and robbery. That's on page 4. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
Yeah. So two of the papers were reporting this story today, talking about man, wife arrested for buying 2 kids for 140,000. Let me just take you through the story very quickly before we round off. So 2 children who were suspected to have been sold to a couple in Jos, Plateau State, have been rescued by police in Lagos State. So they were bought in Plateau State and then rescued in Lagos. The children, who are 3 and 6 years old, were about to be taken to Onitsha, Anambra State, where they were rescued by the police at the motor park in Alaba. Can you believe that? And the police have also arrested the couple that allegedly bought the children for 140. How about the couple that sold the children? Like,
Yeah,
I don't understand. I don't know whether they're brother and sister, but it's really, really bad.
It's scary.
It's scary, and this is still ongoing. Like, people are selling children. Sometimes day-old babies are being sold, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's really alarming how these things happen. But thankfully, they were rescued. But the thing is, rescued to be taken where now?
Exactly.
That's the next question.
Because these kids can then fade into the system. They're so young.
Yeah.
The 3-year-old is probably still trying to mouth words and things like that. And now it's just they're in this situation. But it happens a lot. And I hear that they even sell children across West Africa. So sell a child in Nigeria, move them to Togo, Ghana, and other things.
It's alarming, and something really has to be done about it. Hopefully the right authorities are listening. Now, it's about time for us to take a quick break, and we'll be returning shortly. We have the traffic situation in Lagos. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. Every morning on the show, we look out for the best options to kind of help you get to where you need to be at the right time, safe and sound. That's why we have you covered with the traffic update. You can also join us, help us out. Maybe you could tweet or send a message via social media and just tell us what's happening in your neighborhood. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. I'm starting from Berger Bus Stop, or should I say Breja Bus Stop? Breja Bus Stop is a hub because that's where most people coming into Lagos then discover, figure out where they're going to go from there. And as of right now, it seems quite free. There doesn't seem to be much tension around there. It's looking very, very open. If you're coming from Berger and you're heading towards Marina Bus Stop, for instance, you're not going to have much traffic difficulty until you get to possibly Ojota. Now, that Ojota turnoff is a very narrow road. A lot of trucks, dustbin packers and all that, they all pass through there. You need to just possibly find an alternative route. And just note that if you do decide to pass through Ojota, you have like a 10-minute delay right there at the junction. But once you've passed through there, you're not going to slow down until you get to Maryland. But it's just slowing down. It's not stopping. But then after that, when you get to Shomolu area, you'll have an 11-minute delay. Now, this delay takes you from Shomolu all the way past Fadei to Jibo bus stop. By the time you get to Jibo, it opens up again. Once you take the flyover, you will be free until you get to Stadium. Stadium seems to be on lockdown for about 5 minutes. But it opens up by the time you get to Alaka again. It'll slow you down and give you about a 5-minute delay as you approach Echo Bridge. For some reason, Echo Bridge seems to be very, very free right now. Very, very free indeed. It seems to be plain sailing all the way from Alaka all the way to Marina. But Marina bus stop, of course, is where you'll have some tension. So if you're going from Berger all the way to Marina, you have a 1 hour, 11-minute journey, and hopefully you will, find ways to shave time off that if you find an alternative route. But I know the guys in the kitchen have some social media backup information for us.
Yeah, I think I have, probably the reason why Echo Bridge is a bit free.
Oh, okay.
I'm seeing a few tweets here that are indicating that there's a blockade at Stadium.
Oh,
so obviously, the bridge ahead will be free. But it says, cause of traffic at Stadium on route Akpogbon CMS. Trailers parked on Alaka Bridge. So there's lots of trailers in that area that are causing some kind of gridlock that is not allowing a free flow of traffic ahead. So maybe that's why Eco Bridge is a bit free.
Okay.
Update, this was 3 minutes ago at Traffic Butter. Palliative work ongoing at mile 12 to Ketu by the Chinese company, construction company. In the early hours of today, it says, don't panic, repair work will be completed and road will be free for traffic. So obviously there's a lot of trucks. There are pictures there as well with trucks just working night and day. So they even have lights on in the middle of the night to ensure that the work is going. But it looks like it's going to be very nice and smooth when they're done. So they say don't panic, try and get through the traffic, be patient, don't fight. And
no road rage.
Yeah, and one more, I think. So it says, somebody said, via Odute Mwegoru. It says, traffic already at Ajah Bridge this early.
Imagine that.
When person go reach Lekki today?
So I have the answer to that question.
So traffic in Ajah.
Yeah, I have the answer to that question already. If you're advancing from Ajah area of Lagos and heading all the way to possibly Bonny Camp in Victoria Island, you have a 1 hour, 27-minute journey. So it's actually longer if you're coming from Ajah to VI than if you're coming from Bega to Island.
Wow.
It's longer, yes. So you have your main stress points at VGC. After VGC, you have another stress point around Chevron. But there is an alternative route around there. If you can find your way through there, you'll shave about 10 minutes off your journey. But if you stay on the main carriageway of the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, you have a 1 hour, 35-minute journey. And that's not even with the toll gate drama. So if you are passing through Lekki, just expect about a 27 minutes, almost 30 minutes hold up. Like just sit down and wait for 30 minutes. This goes all the way across Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, all the way till, I'm trying to find out where the traffic ends. It's still going. It's still going. I'm still scrolling. It goes all the way past Tickle Bay, all the way to Marwa bus stop. The traffic just keeps on going. Goodness me. For those of you on the roads right now, apologies. You have quite a delay, but not to worry. You can always stream with us and use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC if you have any updates. I'll be heading into the kitchen, guys.
Oh, yeah. So thanks so much, Titi, for that.
Just one small one before you go. This one might help some people. This is at Umar Joe, 24 minutes ago. If you are one of those people who love to follow BRT corridors, task force at Onikman, BRT inconspicuous. So you are going to Onikman area and you think that your head is what?
Yeah, you just want to quickly do.
Baba, if they hold you, your Monday.
That's the end of
that's the end of your Monday. It doesn't even hold you. So all of you guys do.
If they get you, that's not just the end of your Monday. You might not see that car till Friday. So just leave it there first, because you're definitely not going back with the car today.
Wow.
So
very that traffic wasn't looking pretty at all. I was just scrolling. I didn't see the end of the traffic. I was like, what?
Monday traffic. I think more people should see how they can work around bring in their schedule, especially entrepreneurs. You don't really need to go out on Mondays.
True.
You know, try and work out your schedule to work from home if you can. You know what I mean? If you're not setting
Monday
anything
feel.
up there.
People just have that Monday feel that, okay, I have to work today. I have to go out get something today. So that ginger. Because you notice that even on Tuesday, it's not like that. So what's with the Monday? And
people actually stay in the offices later on Mondays. I had actually heard that people just stay, and there's not as much traffic in the afternoons as there is in the morning. So everybody wants to just get out and go, and then they stay, get as much as they can, do done on a Monday, and then go home late. But you know what? Enough about Monday. Let's talk about Saturday.
Oh yeah. So you guys.
Yeah, we went grooving.
We're out and about. I also saw Theophilus was talking about it, so he was there
yes,
as well.
So we went for the Living in Bondage premiere. And honestly, first of all, the red carpet. So the red carpet, Okay, so I'm going to say yes. I wish I had started earlier. Y'all could have started on time. I'm going to say that
You see,
first.
you see, that's
Events.
before you. That's the time. That's a major problem with events in this
Nigeria.
country.
Yeah.
I think a big shout out to has to be. I think it was Live Sport. I can't remember which event company, but whenever they have events, they are known for always starting on time, you know, and that's a problem. So we get to the point where we wait for maybe celebrities or who, and then you drag it, and then we drag it before you start, and then you see an event that's supposed to start for 6, starting by 10.
The good thing about this particular event is that it was worth waiting for.
Yeah,
the outfits were worth waiting for.
Absolutely.
Like, we're all waiting, and then they all just arrived.
so it's crazy
It
outfits.
was good.
So Titi is trying to make it was very good, yeah? But just before that, I just want to mention so that we can learn. It was good. It was excellent. It could have been perfect.
Yeah, it could have been perfect.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, I just want to call. Let's start events
So
early.
all the Slay Mamas came
Start
out.
events early.
We saw people with different types of contact lenses.
Yeah.
Facial art. I don't know.
Wait, I saw.
Chinonso Aruba did this amazing goth art, you know, on her face.
People really
They went all out.
go overboard when it comes to things like this. I saw Ayin now with red eyes.
Yeah.
So initially I thought it was the camera.
No, it wasn't.
Because I was looking at it on Instagram. So when people started reporting on it, Bella Niger and the rest of them, I was like, okay, these guys are vampires.
As if a lot of hooded capes came out.
I was talking to someone and they were like, okay, Nigerians have started doing better with costumes. I said, yes, we now have access to Amazon, to Alibaba, AliExpress, all those
local designers.
So, exactly, so we can import,
a lot of them
get
were
them and all
local
of that.
designers. A lot of the work was done by local designers.
Took a photograph with Derele.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So Derele has always been known to be a red carpet king. You know, even if he isn't dressed best or better than everybody else, he will make an entrance. You know, so he came in with a mask and a lot of ruffles and feathers. But
Did he take off that mask at any point?
I don't know. I don't know why. Why were you asking?
No, yeah, because Bella Niger put up a post and said, "Guess who this is?"
Oh, come on!
So people were making suggestions, but most of them got it right.
Of course, though.
They just knew that it has to be that crazy guy.
But big shout out to Ramsey Noah. Now Ramsey has been in the industry for what, eons now? He's
Probably 30 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
For him to be doing his directorial debut with something so good, and when I say so good, because we did get to watch the movie, and it's something that's worth watching. I have to
Mike,
say.
you're a big critic of Nigerian movies. What did you think of this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so living in bondage, without dropping any spoilers and all of that. It was good. It was good.
Mike,
that's good.
It was good.
So
let's start
I
with it.
didn't know what was going to happen next. You know, there are a lot of Nigerian films that you kind of just know where this is going. You know.
Okay.
And you get all that. And so there was a lot of suspense, really great lighting, costuming was really good. And that whole Nollywood feel where you're like, wow, there was no overacting.
Okay.
You know? That whole overacting.
No melodrama.
That melodrama, yeah.
Mike said there
That
was
was a bit. That was a bit.
No, by who? By who?
So, you
know what
go
to
watch
call
the
them
movie, yeah.
They
There's a
should go-
bit.
they should watch the movie, yeah.
I think as a director, it was a good debut, but you could see some things that, you know, this is a first-time director.
Oh, right.
You could see some scenes were overstretched. Some scenes were not very, very necessary. So it had the feel, but it was a good one. It was a good one. So, you know, because everybody gets better at the time what you're doing. So it was a good one. For old Nollywood fans, you'd love this one.
Yeah.
It had the old Nollywood. And then it had humor. It had humor. I don't want to use the word, I don't want to say horror. It was thriller. It had humor in thriller, but this is not one for the
I have to give a
kids.
big shout out to Munachi Abi. So Munachi is she's a friend of the house. She's been here before.
Oh, yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised with how good she was in that. You need to go check it out.
So Nollywood is coming of age.
Yeah.
We're beginning to really push it and do.
We're
do
pushing
better.
the envelope.
Yeah.
But we have to take a quick break now. We will return shortly. It's still Wake Up Nigeria.
It's Monday morning, and you know how it is on Monday morning. We'll kick off with tech updates. And for those of you who are iPhone users, well, this one might interest you. Apple's iOS 13 has had a rocky start since its mid-September launch, with it being amongst the most buggy Apple software releases in recent memory. Now, iPhone owners are complaining of yet another issue that may be bug-related. Now, as compiled by Mac Rumors, numerous iOS 13 users say that the OS is killing apps in the background far too aggressively in what appears to be a memory management issue. Now, that has resulted in some users losing progress in apps after switching to another that may be more memory intensive, like the camera or iMessage, even for just a few seconds. Now, you can read a long list of testimonials over at Mac Rumors, but the takeaway is that the iPhone should be getting better at this, not worse, due to superior components and software optimizations. Okay, so let me break it down. So what happens is that you are encouraged to probably kill apps in the background so that your CPU doesn't, or your RAM doesn't use so much of its power when processing apps. So what happens is that newer updates to operating systems on both Android and iOS have this way that they can kill apps in the background automatically. So the complaint is that for iOS 13, it does it too aggressively, so that when you just move away from an app to another app, it already sees the previous app as one that is not, that is taking too much of memory and, you know, cuts it off almost entirely. That's a bit too fast. Some people say even as fast as 2 seconds. So that might be a problem. And I'm sure that in patches of that particular iOS, that's talking about 13, they probably will do something as the complaints increase. All right. Now, moving on from that, this one is quite interesting because almost everybody, virtually everybody uses this. WhatsApp has now announced that its app can now be locked with a fingerprint on Android. Now, following the addition of biometric security to its iOS version earlier this year. Now, turning the future on means you'll need to use your fingerprints to unlock the app even after unlocking your phone. Okay. Calm down. Now, this is one that would interest a lot of guys, you know. Someone said that for those of you that delete chats, one day you forget and you'll be caught. Well, now, apart from security and unlocking your phone, you can also fingerprint lock your WhatsApp specially from your phone. You can just lock it specially, right? Now, this is an extra level of security similar to what you might find in a banking app. Now, the update doesn't appear to be available in all regions just yet, but once it arrives, WhatsApp says you'll be able to toggle on the extra security from within the app's privacy settings menu. Now, there are options to let the app remain unlocked for 1 or 30 minutes after you unlock it, and there's also a toggle to prevent the content of your messages from appearing in notifications. Okay, so there you have it. WhatsApp is going to be a bit more secure. If you've received this update, just let us know. It's not available to all regions just yet. Now, what happens is that when these updates come, they come to regions, you know, sequentially. Maybe probably the US region, Asia and all of that might receive it. Africa, it depends on which one. But if you've received that update and you can lock your WhatsApp and unlock it via your fingerprint, just let us know on Twitter. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tweet to us at TVC Connect. Okay, and then talking about Twitter, CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, says Twitter will ban all political ads, arguing that internet's political ads present entirely new challenges to civic discourse. Now, he announced that Twitter will be banning all political advertising, albeit with a few exceptions like voter registration. Now, not only is this a decisive move by Twitter, but it also could increase pressure on Facebook to follow suit, or at least take steps in this direction. Now, what this means is that apart from calling on voters to go register to exercise their rights, they can, what would happen is that anything, you know, because of political arts at times can be termed as hate speech because you're going against somebody else, they probably would ban it. And this would probably stretch across to Facebook and Instagram, as what happens whenever this happens to one social media network, the other one tends to adapt and move along with the times. Okay? Now, moving on from that, now this might interest you for those of you who stay in maybe a corporate environment. Now, a security researcher has found several vulnerabilities in the popular open source Horde Webmail software that allow hackers to near invisibly steal the contents of a victim's inbox. Now, Horde is one of the most popular free and open source web email systems available. It's built and maintained by a core team of developers with contributions from the wider open source community. It's used by universities, libraries, and many web hosting providers as the default email client. Numan Ozdemir disclosed his vulnerabilities to Horde in May. An attacker can scrap and download a victim's entire inbox by tricking them into clicking a malicious link in an email. Now, for Horde, Horde includes Roundcube, Webmail, and all of that. I've used Horde in about 3 organizations I've been at different times. It's free and it's the most popular. Almost everybody uses it. So the point is that be careful. Whenever you get a message from somebody that you are not sure of, now this is basic internet security etiquette. You don't just click any link. You've won $1,000. Click to this thing. Be very careful. And then there's some that appear legit. I mean, some people might talk about IRS, but some people might talk about tax courts. Some people might talk about, different things that sound very legit, very, very packaged and all of that. When you are not sure, please just delete that particular mail because, hey, come on, all the information in your inbox might just be lost to some hacker somewhere. Now, smartphones, when it comes to smartphones production, it had dropped a bit. It had dropped a bit around the world. But then this is all is not lost for smartphone manufacturers on the heels of 2 years of global stagnation. The category is finally showing some signs of life. Now, much of the bounce back comes as manufacturers are working to correct for dulled consumer interest. Now, I wouldn't put too much weight in the numbers right now as they are little more than an uptick. Numbers from Canalys put shipment growth at 1% from the third quarter of 2018 to the third quarter of 2019. In most cases, that will be a modest gain at best, but this is notably the first time in 2 years that the numbers have been heading in the right direction. Samsung, of course, saw the biggest gains, a phenomenon the analyst firm chalks up to a shift in strategy to eat some of its profits. The move has paid off for the quarter with an 11% growth in device shipments to 78.9 million devices shipped. Now, that gives the company the largest global market share at 22.4%. Now, Huawei, too, saw impressive growth year over year, commanding second place with 66.8 million units shipped. Now, much of its growth came from China, which has ramped up spending on the company's products as it has run into regulatory scrutiny overseas. The resumption of sales in some international markets helped juice growth as well. Of the top 3, Apple continued to struggle the most with a 7% loss from 2018. So there you have it. Samsung is the #1 smartphone seller in the world, of course. But the shocking one, I'll head over to Yomi soon, but Yomi, the shocking one has to be Huawei. Huawei, of course, there are issues with the US, Donald Trump, of course, and the ban. Huawei is not sold in North America, but they are at #2. Beating Apple, of course, Apple with a 7% loss, Huawei with the biggest leap, of course, Samsung in #1. This is quite shocking for Huawei, but then, hey, come on, it's smartphone business. Just know that you Apple fans, all of you that used to use Apple and you think that maybe you are only iPhone and you have already entered or you are close to the gate of heaven, the way some of you do. And then there's this scam, I don't know if you've seen it, the one people change iPhone 10s to 11, there's something they put with the camera there.
Oh, okay.
You sit down with the 2 cameras, you now put it and make it seem like it's 3 cameras. And then they're now farms and all of that. All of you, people should calm down. It's not heaven you're entering. Okay? All right. Okay, but then, Yomi, so I'll be talking, Yomi, let's see, Yomi. Yomi wants to say something, but then, hey, there's a new chef in the house. I'm supposed to be the one with the chef, but Yomi's holding it down for me. The best guy to do that. So, Yomi, can you tell us about our new chef?
You're going to be joining us back in the kitchen after this break, I'm sure. But it's nice. I wanted to say something about Huawei, but we don't have much time. We'll talk about it later. We have Chef Obey in the building. How you doing this morning?
How are you?
Good to have you join us.
Good to have you.
Okay, so I'm seeing something very special. First, I'm looking at your knives. I don't know if the camera can catch these knives. Look at that. She looks like she's, coming from Halloween, I'm just a bit worried of.
You'll be fine. I promise you'll be fine.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right,
Thank
this
you.
is excellent. Something special is going to be happening in the kitchen today.
Yes.
You are with Mike actually, so you're going to be taking him through what you're going to be cooking. But we just wanted to know more about you.
Okay.
But I'm seeing, what is this? Is this eba?
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
It's a pasta dough.
Okay, pasta dough.
Yes,
Okay, so yeah, you talk about that with Mike.
Yes, I will talk about that.
So tell us about you.
I'm an international chef. I've gone to culinary school in South Africa. And basically cooking for me is all about nostalgia. It's all about memory, things I love. So I basically try to transfer and translate those memories to people that I meet. I like to communicate with them through my food.
Right.
And
right. So you're going to be communicating with us.
I will try and do that to the
Right.
best of my ability.
Yeah. So depending on how you feel. So if you feel really good about
I'm
us.
usually happy.
Okay.
I'm usually happy.
Yeah. So what are you going to be doing today? Is sweet or sour or
It's more of
savory, whatever?
savory.
Okay, savory.
We're going to do homemade pasta.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you how to roll that dough, roll the pasta dough and cut.
Yeah.
So homemade pasta, and I did some smoked brisket. So yeah, homemade pasta, smoked brisket, and beurre blanc sauce.
Yeah, I'm seeing something that looks like steak there, but I'm not sure what that
It's
is.
smoked beef.
Okay, smoked.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I wish I were the one in the kitchen because this is just my thing. But Mike is going to be with you
No problem.
after this break. It's going to be
Yes.
really, really nice. Don't go anywhere. Nothing beats the joy you feel when you are fulfilled with an amazing accomplishment that you can call the first hour successful. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that
So
supposed
it
to be a
is
motivational statement?
It is, sort of.
Yeah.
In the morning, you just need that boost. And once you've gone through the first hour of the show, especially on a Monday, we start just getting gingered.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, seriously.
Exactly. So we
got
can
through.
start a little bit slow, but then things speed up
Yes,
after a
indeed.
while. Anyway, so yeah.
Now, we're here to offer only the best. That's why we're here every single morning. And we've been able to do that somehow, I guess with God's grace. But so far, it's a beautiful day. My name is Titilayo Oyinsong.
And I'm Yomi Owokpeyu. Now, we're streaming live right now, and that's an option that's available for you. We're live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
And if you want to drop a comment, or maybe two, you can go to our Facebook page, Twitter, or even Instagram. Just check us out at TVC Connect. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, of course, you know, we have an app available for you. You can download it both on the Android and the iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yes, sir. We're here with that breakfast show that has actual breakfast in it. You already have met the chef.
Oh, yeah.
How
I mean,
is the chef?
she's international, man.
Yeah.
She seems like she's going to be fun. Hello, baby.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hi, Mike.
Okay, so I'm saying, so when they say cooking is art, she's one chef that makes me. I hope you can see this. This knives and there's is it a thermometer or something here?
Look at
Yeah,
those.
candy thermometer.
What's this for?
It's candy thermometer.
What
Yeah.
do you use it for? What do you
Well,
use it
when
for?
you're trying to like make sugar work or whatever, or caramel,
you dip
yeah,
it into-
you dip
to
it
find
in
out the
to
temperature.
figure out, yeah,
Okay.
yep, yeah.
Can you see our array of knives here?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay.
A lot
Halloween
of
has
hard work's
passed, so
going to be
don't
happening in
worry.
that
Will be
kitchen.
good.
Don't worry, we're using it for the kitchen stuff. Yeah, wow, that looks so nice. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun in the kitchen today. You best don't miss any part of it.
Yeah, so Mike, that yellow thing is not Eba.
It's not about. What is it? I'm really thinking how to start, how to tell the rapper and start.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not about. We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll definitely find out.
Anyway, so we're going to be, let's just take you through what we're going to be doing for the rest of the show. Now, we're going down memory lane, and that's going to be happening very shortly.
Some music. So music is one of our favorite staples on the show. Joining us for a second musical performance is Pizza.
Paisa.
I know, you know, you know, I know.
Joining us for motivation is the founder of and well-being consultant of Well-being Consultant Africa and host of Deep Soul, Stephen Omojuigbe, and he's going to be answering questions.
Now, it's the questions you ask that are actually the key.
Yeah. So, what are the questions that you ask when maybe faced with a particular situation? Anyway, Stephen's going to be here very shortly to join us for that.
Yomi Bosude is back. Now, this particular mechanic is going to be taking us through the auto segment and talking about child safety. How safe is your child in the back of your car? And what measures are you taking to make sure it's even better? We'll find out during the auto segment.
Now, on SME today, we have the Managing Director of Fuel, an uncommon marketing communications agency that sells only unpopular ideas. And Adetunji Abioye is going to be with us shortly.
That must be really a lot of pressure when you have unpopular ideas.
Yeah.
Like, so I've had to do pitches before to clients, and you come up with this amazing idea, and you know this idea is huge, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then the client just says something like, whoa, I bet just do adverts, just tell them what you want.
Exactly.
So,
you know,
the
most advertising agencies in Nigeria already know that the client has an idea of what they need, especially if it's Asian clients. Yeah. So if your clients are Korean, Chinese or Indians, just do what they want. Because sometimes it's not really about your idea. So you could go and you come up with all these fancy things. Yeah. And the Chinese guy sitting behind the desk, he can't even really speak English. He just tells you,
no,
we're trying to sell noodles. So just sell the noodles, you know. So they don't want all your fancy ideas.
Want
sometimes.
A spaceship no, formed from the pasta to make the noodles, and then the spaceship flies into the child's mouth. No, they don't want that.
When I look at advertising in Nigeria, the way I feel that the advertisers don't do almost anything when it comes to pharmaceutical adverts.
Terrible.
Because those ones are almost about the same thing.
Exactly.
Daddy will just come. I don't know why Daddy is always the one sick.
Exactly.
Daddy is always the one that has malaria.
Mommy is never ill.
Mommy is never ill. Mommy is always picking up the slack and all that, and then the kid is always the one asking. Say,
Daddy, what's going on?
So that is either, so the script is very simple.
Yeah.
So that is either sitting down, or he's just coming back from work, or he's on the bed. It's either one of those three.
And there's sweat on his forehead.
There's sweat on his forehead. And then Daddy goes, and then one of two things. Then Junior will now come. Daddy. Or Daddy or Mommy say, Mommy, what's wrong with Daddy?
And the script is always the same, when malaria strikes.
But the only different one, that one was when they destroyed my Nollywood legend.
Which one?
They just intentionally wanted to destroy his career. You know when one move, you have like 50 years of your career. Exactly. Then one move on to destroy it, they gave Baba Bo an arrow.
Oh yeah, so that was terrible.
They wanted it to be different.
Oh my God.
They gave Baba Bo an arrow to shoot down this particular malaria with the drug.
Hey, goodness me.
Oh my goodness, they painted malaria in many different ways. It's just terrible.
It's
my
crazy.
goodness.
It's crazy.
Okay, so I know Yomi and Titi would love to be here, but I'm here. You're gonna have to deal with it. Chef Obey is in the house. How you doing?
Good, Mike.
Okay, so let's talk about our... she's making her debut on the show, by the way. You'll get to be seeing more of her. But let's talk about what are we doing today. Now, this is not something many people are used to. I love the outlay, but what are we doing today?
We're gonna first do homemade pasta.
Homemade pasta.
Pappardelle.
Pappardelle.
Yeah.
That's Italian. Yeah.
Yes. So
Pappardelle.
yeah, so it's a bit
Like
thicker than the regular.
Normal,
yeah.
the regular one that you buy. Okay, so what are we working with? What are our ingredients?
We have here the dough, and the dough was basically flour and eggs, a whole lot of eggs, and egg yolks.
Okay.
We did that.
Which we've already done. We've already mixed that.
so I'm trying to like speed things up for you guys.
Okay, all right, good. All right, good.
Yeah, so
what's this?
This is the pasta that has been dried. It's been rolled out, cut, and dried. So
okay, but if this is the pasta, how is it homemade? What makes it homemade?
I made this.
Okay, you made this before now.
I made this before I got here.
Okay.
Yes,
how long does it take to make this?
Not too long. You just have to roll it out. We have the pasta roller over here.
Oh, that's what that thing is for.
Yes, so
I was thinking of when we used to grind stuff when we were much younger and all of that.
It does look like it though.
So that's it. That's why you can see that at the end, just by the right end. That's the pasta roller.
Exactly.
Okay. So what kind of?
This is a smoked beef brisket. Basically, it was smoked for 9 hours. Yes, wood smoke outside like barbecue, but like on very, very low. So low and slow is basically the rule.
Was it marinated?
Yes, it was. It had like a really nice spice rub, brown sugar.
So actually, in my life, I've only marinated chicken once, and
really?
I'm not going to talk about what happened, but yeah, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what do we have there?
This is spring onions.
Okay.
Garnish. All about the garnish.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay, what do we have here? This is beautifully laid out.
This is serere.
Serere.
Basically. So
Okay, so just
yes. So it's
you know?
Parmesan and it's some pickled radishes. So pickle.
Parmesan. And when you say things like this, like, you know, it shows that you know what you're doing. And then what are you stirring here?
This is a beurre blanc sauce.
Parmesan, beurre blanc sauce.
Yeah, so this is basically going to go with the pasta.
Pasta deli.
Yes.
Man, my culinary vocabulary has stepped up.
You're
just
killing
with,
it. You're killing
with
it.
over here. Okay, so let's get straight to the process. So what are we doing first?
So now we want to boil the pasta. So this is the pot of water, salted. Okay. Yeah, so we're just going to like dunk that in.
It's already salted, so we have some salt inside. All right,
yes,
good.
yes.
Good.
So we're just going to dunk this in.
Okay, so let's go.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's go. So homemade pasta actually it cooks much shorter than regular like dried pasta you buy at the store.
Okay.
It's much faster. It cooks, say normal pasta cooks for like maybe like 11 minutes, but this cooks for like say 5 minutes.
5 minutes or
yes.
so. Is there any advantage, any pros of using homemade over regular
yes,
pasta?
it's actually much fresher and it tastes much better. It's much richer than pasta that's been dried for like months and months.
Oh, wow. The same thing you tell us when it's preferable to kill chicken at home than buy frozen chicken.
Exactly.
All right, good. So that's our pasta, homemade getting in. She made this with the pasta roller there.
Yes.
So that's not for sharpening knives or something. Some of you that have seen it and... you know, she came with many knives. So I was like, So why the knives so many? What are we doing? I mean...
It's our work now.
Whoa.
We need different kind of knives.
That's actually true. That's actually true. Okay. So yeah, the pasta is going in.
Yes.
And we're probably going to sieve this when it's done. We're not going to wait for the water to dry.
Yes.
So yeah, that reminds me, sieving food generally. I see a lot of people when they want to do even rice, they make sure that they don't allow the water dry.
Yeah, no.
And they always have to sieve.
Yeah.
Is there any advantage to doing that?
Yes. Actually, the way you sieve actually really does matter with pasta. You don't. Most people just take it on the sink and pour the water and the pasta over it, but the problem with that is that all the gluten, all the starch is at the bottom.
Is at the bottom?
So it's gonna like clunk on your pasta and make it like sticky. You basically just take it out and put it on a sieve. You don't pour it in. So just to make sure your pasta doesn't get too sticky, that's actually...
You know, everybody can cook. Everybody claims to cook, but there's a reason why they're called chefs, why they're professional, and there's a reason why she's international. We'll be having fun in the kitchen here. We'll be getting all of this done. We'll take this break now. Don't go anywhere. There's still much more to come. We still have our fitness, and you don't want to miss what we have. When this is done, man, it's going to be something. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's time for us to take a performance. Iweze Paul KUKA, also known as Pizza. He's right here, reggae dancehall, Afrobeat musician. Apparently, he grew up passionate about music and became involved with music as early as age 11. So I don't know, man. I'm just so interested in this guy. He likes to call himself an experimental artist, creating new vibes and sounds. All right, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Good morning.
All right, so it looks like you're ready to throw down, yeah?
Always ready.
What's the name of the track we're performing today?
Wash and Wear. Wash
and Wear.
Yeah.
Really? Wash and Wear? Okay, so you need to break that down just a little bit for me. Wash and Wear. Tell me about the song.
It's a song that just came up when I was walking down the street, when I had couples having misunderstanding.
Okay.
About a man telling the wife or the girlfriend, get out, I don't want you again, there are girls are around, something like that.
No. You know
So
what?
I was like,
just stop. That's enough intro for me. I need you to perform this song right now before I misinterpret the rest of the song. But Wash and Wear, right?
Yeah, Wash and Wear.
With Pizza, coming up next.
There is man for the woman. There is woman for the man. My love's not kiss and tell. My love no be wash and wear. My love's not kiss and tell. My love no be wash and wear. You know, I know, you know. You You know, I know, you know. Girl, I used to be your playboy. Girl, I wanna be your playboy. Anywhere you go, I one day, yeah. Baby, anywhere you there, I one day, yeah. Hey, whether not the sky, whether not the moon, girl, I did, yeah. Whether not the sky, whether not the moon, girl, I did, yeah. I see, yeah. This man for the woman. This woman for the man. Hey, my love not kiss and tell. My love no be wash and girl. My love not kiss and tell. My love no be wash and girl. You know, I know. You know, I know. Say, baby girl, you buy me on deck. Girl, you make me think so well. Girl, I'ma feel your body. Girl, me, I want your body. Girl, see your body, no make me a one. Anything you want, maybe girl, me got. Everything you want, maybe girl, me a one. Me, I'll give it to you. You know, I'm the one. Yeah. Baby girl, your body not the fire. Me light up on my wall. Me say, I see. Yeah, this man for the woman. It's man for this woman for the man. Hey. My love's not kiss and tell. My love no be wash and yeah. My love's not kiss and tell. My love no be wash and yeah. You know, I know, you know, you know, I know, you know. Yeah, wow, yeah, this song a long time ago.
As Pisa there with wash and wear. Anyway, it's time for some Monday motivation this morning. And the human brain is a question-answering machine. It is the question that you repeatedly ask that shapes your outcome. And joining us to talk about your questions and how they are the key is the founder of Wellbeing Consultant Africa and host of Deep Soul. Now, this is a deep guy, Stephen Omojigwe. And we're going to do this very fast this morning.
Yeah.
You know, we're approaching the end of the year, and many people are thinking and they're asking themselves questions, but are they asking the right questions?
So
that is the first thing that we should start with.
Exactly. So, like you said in your introduction, the human brain is a question-answering machine. Neurobiology tells us now that the brain is designed such that it thinks in questions, and it's designed such that it cannot resist answering a question. So, at the end of it, of a period, at the end of the day, our lives is a reflection of the questions we've been asking. And if you're not asking yourself the right questions, you're not going to get the right outcome. So, like, it's getting towards the end of the year, it's important that people begin to ask the right questions. Because we get lost in storyline, Yomi. We have all these stories we tell ourselves of why our year didn't work, our marriages are failing, our relationships are in trouble, our health is in trouble. We tell all these stories, so we get lost in those stories. It is the questions that we ask ourselves, or the questions people ask us, like a coach asks us, that helps us to navigate ourselves out of those storylines, because we kind of think the stories we tell ourselves is truth, but a lot of times the stories we tell ourselves is not actually reality.
But
so the questions help to find us out of those places and lead us on the path of progress.
Is it possible, though, that people answer those questions by themselves as a coping mechanism? So, especially if it's a monumental failure, for instance, or if it's something that is a big challenge, you just want to find a good explanation for it so that you're not going too deep or asking deep questions.
Exactly. But does that empower you? That's the question. The question you are asking, does it create traction forward? Does it move you forward? Let me give you an example of questions that are important for people to ask. You need to ask yourself questions that allows you to see reality clearly. A lot of times when things happen, we get kind of, things become fuzzy and we're not really seeing reality clearly. You have to ask questions that allows you to see reality clearly. I'll give you an example. Someone comes to me in my coaching room and says, nobody loves me. And they are in that unproductive state, sinking into depression because they think nobody loves them. But a simple question like, nobody loves you, really, nobody loves you, kind of breaks that emotional state, moves the person to thinking, well, my children love me. Well, my wife loves me. Well, I have one brother that loves me. Well, God loves me. And just by asking the simple question, really, nobody loves you, can help to shift the state of the person into where he's seeing reality clearly and is coming out of that emotional fuzziness that gets us stuck and allows us not to move forward.
Now, this is from between a coach and, of course, respondents in this kind of situation. How about an average individual? How does an average individual begin to practice asking the right question? Because I feel like that's also a challenge. So at the end of the day, or at the end of the month, or at the end of the week, what kind of questions should I be asking myself, either in business or personal?
Fantastic. So it's something somebody can do for you, like you said, a coach to a client, or it's something everybody needs to learn. And it begins by just understanding that there are a number of questions or a set of questions that you must, as an individual, every successful person practices this, you must learn to practice. The first one is the one I just said, questions that allow you to see reality clearly. What am I not seeing? If you're a business person, for example, what am I not seeing? Why are we here? Why are we losing sales? Questions that allow you to drill down, that expands your focus, that allows you to drill down into what exactly is happening. Then second questions that everybody must practice is questions that allow you to envision clearly. Like when people come into my coaching class, coaching room, I ask them, what kind of marriage do you want to have? Some people have never asked themselves that. They've been married for years, they're doing that marriage thing, but they've never asked themselves the question, what kind of marriage do I want to have? What kind of wife do I want to have? What kind of husband do I want to be? What kind of business do I want to create? So questions that allow you to envision clearly. And then a third critical set of questions is questions that allow you to have options, that gives you power to do things, that gives you resources and ideas. So, for example, I say, give me 5 things you can do today to change your life. Give me 3 things you can do tomorrow to change your marriage.
So the right kind of questions.
The right kind of question. You have to have those sets of questions. And then there are accountability questions, questions that put you on the spot. When am I going to do what? At what time? How will I know it is done? So there are questions that allow you to define reality clearly, questions that allows you to envision clearly, questions that allow you to generate options, and questions that hold you accountable. You must understand this set of questions, and you can ask yourself these questions every single day of your life.
Now, as a coach, how do you approach someone who is in denial and refusing to answer questions or ask questions? How do you start with such a person?
Fantastic. So if you're watching at home, I want you to think about and I want you to do it also. Think about something in your life that is really, really difficult, something that you're really struggling with. And I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to see what that question does to you on the inside. And the question is this: how will a matured, emotionally healthy, positive individual respond to this situation?
Well,
That question moves you from where you're dealing with the issue to where you're talking about who do I want to be? And we all want to be champions. We all want to be victors. So it's a question that allows the person to look on the inside and bring out resources, because there are resources in the human mind. But if you don't ask the right question, the questions is like the bucket from which you draw out the resources. When you ask the right question, the resources come out of you.
all right, final word, Monday.
What is the question that you have been avoiding? We all have questions that are around our mind, but kind of we avoid asking them. For example, where is this relationship going? Where is this business going? So everybody at home, I want you to think, what question have you been avoiding that if you were to face that question, there will be a turnaround in your life? And I want you to decide today to face that question.
Wow, face that question. As a great way to end this second hour of Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be right back after this. We hope that we have been able to make your day interesting. Now, you saw that last motivational statement.
Yes, indeed.
Ask the right questions. What are the questions that you're avoiding? Wow.
And what are the questions you don't really want the answer to?
You just don't want the answers to certain questions because you just feel like, anyway. 45 minutes left to go, 2 hours gone by already. It's been absolutely amazing.
It's been very productive so far, and we're glad that you decided to join us.
Thank you for sticking around with us. And a couple of things to still come on the show, so stick around even more. My name is Yomi Ope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Please live stream with us. Follow us as soon as you can. tvcentertainment.tv is the website. And of course on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in those comments with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, of course, the app is also available, so you can download it on the Android and iOS stores. This app allows you to watch us on the go, in your car, and anywhere in the world.
Yes, indeed. Now, Mechanic to the Stars, Mr. Yomi Bosude is back. Now, our auto segment has a really interesting topic today. He's going to be talking about child safety. Your child and your car. What are you doing wrong? What could you be doing better? We'll find out later.
And then on our SME segment, the Managing Director of Fuel, and Uncommon Marketing Communications Agency that sells only unpopular ideas.
Yes, so Mr. Adetunji Abioye will be in the building. Did you see that? The consumer is not a moron. Did you see that?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He
He's
knows
not.
what he wants.
You know,
He
we're
knows what
talking
he's
about...
doing.
Yeah, we're talking about malaria advertising.
Yeah.
The consumer is actually not stupid.
At all. So you made mention about how simple and basic they want to make it.
Yeah.
Because the people that suffer from malaria are people that, you know, if you make it too touche, they might not...
They might not connect.
They might not connect, exactly. I think they might not connect with you if it's too... I think it was this ad I was watching. It was yesterday or 2 days ago. And it was a simple... yes, I understand where that guy might be coming from. It was supposed to be a simple ad, but they're going so poetic. They started bringing some images. Said, you know, the wall, the earth. And it was just a simple thing. Like, I turned away. I was watching a match, and then it came up.
Yeah.
So I knew what they were advertising. I can't exactly remember now, but it was now too...
It's a bit
Oh,
too
Ben, it's just
much,
so simple.
yeah.
I switched off. Like,
Exactly.
I moved to the next... I'm telling you.
Wow.
I moved up. Even at me. And so they're trying to be very touche and, bring some images.
The voice.
It was very...
Just advertise
Kind
what
of
you're going
reminds
to
me
advertise.
of how Basketmouth was trying to promote his show that came up, was
Yeah.
that a month or two ago?
Yeah,
That he
about
was
2
like,
months
he
ago.
just wants to do his ad. I don't know all this gang voice people are doing.
If you note, I mean, over the past 2 or 3 years, a lot of Nigerian banks have been using poetry to define their ads and everything. But if you watch international, especially South African bank ads, you just see a cab driver, one guy in the back, and then
They're talking. Just make it easy. Okay,
Makes
how
it
do I
easy.
get this? How do I get this thing? And I get
Exactly.
blah, 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 blah.
So that information just gets across very quickly.
But you know,
Simple.
SA, they like cab. I don't know, a lot of their ads. They can use... I've seen insurance ads, so cab.
Cab, yeah.
I think it's something that maybe a lot of them can relate with.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because you have to think about the locale, wherever you are. Things that people can relate to.
Yeah.
Some things that are clear. Maybe you have more people who it's like a basic form of business to them, you know. So it's something that people can relate with, and so that's why it's very prevalent there.
You have your ads have to be relational, otherwise.
With the advent of social media, everything has to be short and sharp, really, really quick. So the quicker something hits home, the better for you and your brand. That's some information for someone out there that's trying to, you know.
A lot of big advertisers are using comedians now.
Yeah.
in their ads, especially the telecoms guys. Now, they all seem like they're copying.
Telecoms, they trash. At least those ones, they have the touche and this thing. I didn't quite the ads. The ads make you want to listen. Like, and some of them even try to tell a story. So they give ads and they have like a series. So you want to follow it and like, okay, maybe for this month or next 2 months, I'll telling this day, we'll move to the next level.
So there's still so much we need to learn, as you know. That's why we always have SME owners come to talk to us. But for now, we have to go to the news update. Hi, Ibrahim.
Hi, Titi. Well, welcome again. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the extension of the closure of the Nigeria's land borders to the 31st of January. The closure is a move to curb smuggling and protect local industries, especially agriculture, but the government says local farmers have been prospering since the borders were shut. Some borders were first closed without warning on August the 20th, and a total closure followed last month. The closure of the land borders has been hard on traders involved in cross-border border commerce, but the government has been defending its decision. The Customs Service says it has led to a reduction in smuggling, illegal importation of substandard goods has reduced, and that products like petrol are no longer diverted abroad. Customs say this means people now use seaports, which has led to a revenue increase. There has also been a boost in the sale of locally produced rice and a reduction in human trafficking. And on the negative side, critics say the closure of the borders is a breach of the ECOWAS protocol on the free movement of persons and goods. It could also undermine the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreements to which Nigeria is a signatory. These all add up to a reduction in inter-Africa trade and could also lead to diplomatic friction. Now to the war on terror. The Air Task Force of Operation Lafayette Dole has destroyed an Islamic State of West Africa province hideout and killed some of the group's fighters at Arena Shiki on the fringes of the Lake Chad in Borno State. The Air Force spokesman says the feat was accomplished after intelligence reports indicated the settlement was used as a staging area to launch attacks against land forces. Air Commodore Ibukunle Daramola further says some ISWAP vehicles were spotted under some trees on Friday and the fighter jets were sent to attack the location. The following day, another strike was conducted after some activities by ISWAP fighters was observed in another part of the settlement. And the Nigerian Army has discarded plans to commence a nationwide exercise codenamed Operation Positive Identification, which will require Nigerians to show proof of their citizenship to soldiers. Acting Director, Nigerian Army Public Relations Colonel Sagir Musa, in a statement described the report as mischievous. He explained that it emanated from a fictitious group, BRICS Company, which has nothing to do with the Army. On October the 8th, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai had announced that the Operation Positive Identification, which is already in force in Northeast, will be extended to other parts of the country. The Chief of Army Staff said the exercise was to uncover people with questionable identities and curtail the movement of bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, ethnic militia, and other criminal elements. And outside Nigeria, flights to and from New Delhi's international airport were delayed and diverted as pollution reached unbearable levels, leaving the Indian capital blanketed with heavy smog. More than 30 flights, including at least one international journey, were diverted on Sunday from the city's Indira Gandhi International Airport. In many areas of Delhi, air quality deteriorated into the hazardous category with the potential to cause respiratory illnesses. Low visibility caused more than 30 flights to be diverted on Sunday. And as the news today on Wake Up Nigeria, weather forecast is up next. Bye now.
Okay, so here we are with pasta deli. Right?
Papa Deli.
Papa Deli. Papa Deli.
Deli.
And okay, so now Chef Obe is going to show us why she's international, the plating process. All right. So remember she mentioned something about sieving, and here it is. That's what she's showing us now, how to sieve. So you don't just drain the water out in maybe a sink or something. You take out the pasta onto the sieve. In that way, you ensure that the
starch stays at the bottom,
or whatever goes out. So
whatever.
It's more or less like you're rinsing, you know, ensuring that you are getting the pure pasta.
Exactly.
Nothing extra. No additives. Straight up pasta.
Yes.
I like the way this is. Well, I've never taken fat pasta. Oh, do I call it fat?
You can't call it fat. That's not right.
That's not right. Yeah,
I mean, she won't be happy.
I know I messed up.
Don't call it girl fat.
What should I call it? What should I call it? Pasta
this is, I guess, a thicker, wider.
Thick. Yes. Pasta.
Yes.
So thick pasta. So I've never had it, so I'm looking forward to what it will taste like.
Yes.
Mm.
And it's fresh.
It's fresh.
It's not just thick pasta.
Homemade,
Yes.
fresh pasta made from scratch. Okay, so let's go. Let's
move.
Let's see them. Let's show them. And we have our plates here. Wow.
I'm gonna
How
toss
important is the plating process in
a chef?
Food as a whole? Yes, generally. How important is it?
I mean, you like pretty girls, right? I mean,
Not everybody.
I think most people do. You need to. It's all about packaging. It's your packaging. You
Exactly.
cannot make like amazing food and not package it well.
Very true.
It's not.
Very
It's
true.
eating is a. It's a multisensorial process. You eat with your eyes
It has
first.
to appeal to the eyes.
Exactly.
And then, of course,
Yes.
your nasal.
Yes.
It has to also.
Yes,
the aroma has to be something. And then finally,
Precisely.
home run with the mouth.
Yes.
So the mouth's like the final thing, right? Good.
Yes.
So let's
We're gonna
so let's
toss
do
it
something
in
for your eyes
the
now.
beurre blanc.
And the ball.
Beurre blanc. It's
Beurre.
like it's a white wine and butter sauce.
So there's wine in this thing.
It's cooked out.
Okay.
So it's actually more of the flavor, not the alcohol. So the alcohol is not. Don't worry, you won't get drunk. I promise.
Why are you doing like this? What if that's what some people are looking for?
You go and get alcohol.
They're looking for. Okay.
No, you're
So we
fine.
have to mix it up and all of that.
Yes. You just
Okay.
mix it up a bit. Toss it a bit in the sauce. Yum yum yum.
Wonderful.
Then we get to plating.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh wee. Drip drip.
Drip, drop, drip,
Yes.
drip, deep drop.
Oh my God, it's dripping everywhere. It's raining.
Oh.
So yes.
What kind of plate is this?
This is a pasta bowl.
Look, it's a pasta bowl. Because
Yes, yes. This is.
So I was watching this channel sometime, and they were talking about different glasses for different wines, and white wine, red wine. Each one has a different glass.
Yes.
Like really. So that's why I know that this plate has to be kind of a different
It's
plate. Okay. So it's
So
more or
we're
less
gonna
like
like
okay.
wipey wipe.
Okay, good. Wonderful.
So that's-
Wonderful. 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 Okay. Okay. All right, good. So how do we Okay, no, let's just go with one. Let's
go
round
with
up
one.
one.
Okay,
Yes.
let's go with one.
Let's round up one.
So I'm gonna put a bit of this is a charcoal miso.
Okay.
So it's actually activated charcoal, which is good for you. It's not squid ink. Squid ink tends to go off fairly quickly. So
Wow.
this is actually just it's a lot of umami. So miso, it's really tasty. A lot of umami.
And this person only speaking Japanese here. Miso, umami.
Just put in a little
So
bit
what
of
is this?
basil.
Okay.
And black pepper.
Black pepper, all right.
Freshly cracked black pepper.
Black pepper, all right, good.
Yes. And we are gonna have a little bit of.
What's this?
This is Parmesan. That is
Parmesan,
yes,
okay.
Parmesan.
Cheese?
Parmesan cheese. Yes.
Oh, I know
precisely.
that those words are concomitant, Parmesan
Yes,
and cheese.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and we have over here this little sitting duck. We have
I love the thin slices. you
yes,
know.
we have to make it pretty. You gotta make it pretty.
Wow.
Yes. So this is.
I'll go to one restaurant and I'll be calling one kind of price for you after this kind of thing now. I'm like, you don't want that. It's not meat and spaghetti. But hey, come on, you see the work in it. You see
Yes.
what went into it. So when you see there and they call one kind of this thing, just know that you are eating something. Okay, so these are spring onions,
Yes.
right?
So they cut at an angle just so it's much prettier.
Wow.
This is some pickled radishes.
Wow.
Gonna have that on the meat. Just
Oh, pickled radishes.
yeah, so it's pickled in vinegar and
What's a radish, though?
radish.
That's if I asked.
This is a it's a kind of root vegetable
Okay,
actually.
it's a vegetable.
Yes,
So it's a vegetable.
it's super tasty. I don't know if you want to just pop one in your mouth. It's super
Okay.
tasty. Yes. Explosion. Awesome. Yay. Okay,
So this is it.
and we're done.
Hey, price this food. Y'all go to our restaurant now. Get there like 28K. And I'm like, what was it? You saw all that went into this. Homemade pasta, Parmesan cheese, radish, which is what is in my mouth now, some basil.
Yes. Black pepper.
What's that sauce called? What's that sauce called?
The beurre blanc.
Beurre blanc.
Yes.
The beurre blanc.
White wine sauce.
White wine sauce and all over that.
Yes.
Voila!
Yes.
Hey, this is done. Thank you so much, Chef Obey. This is wonderful. I'm sure there are a lot of people that my director and everybody there, their eyes are drooling wherever they are. But hey, we'll get back to this later on. Let's head over to the Y Square, Yomi Square. Yomi Square is in the garden. Don't bother about which Yomi is which, but they're going to be talking to us about some things you can look out for in your car. Hello, Yomis.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. It looks like there's a lot happening in the kitchen over there. But welcome to the Auto segment, which happens every single Monday on the show. And what we try to do is to ensure that you have adequate information to keep you safe on the roads and also so that you can save some money while you're at it. Now, today we're going to be talking specifically about car seats and how to ensure that your child is protected when you're going out and in your coming in. So right here I have Yomi Bosude with me, who's of the Auto Sector Garage. Thank you so much for joining us.
How you doing, bro?
So talk to us about, this is Nigeria. So a lot of times you see everything. I've seen everything on the roads. The other day I saw a woman, she was driving and she had a baby on her lap.
Breastfeeding?
No, she wasn't even breastfeeding. Okay. Just, maybe she didn't want the baby moving around in the back or something like that, but she had the baby on her lap, sitting in front of the steering.
And she was driving?
She was driving.
She wasn't a stationary.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of things. So so talk to us about why it's important to keep your child safe in your car.
Good. Number one, it's against the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's an offense. You shouldn't be carrying your baby or toddler or child in the car while it's in motion. If you're stationary, yes, you can do that, but not while in motion. So that's number one. Number two, in case there's an accident, that child is probably going to not survive it. Then most likely you probably won't be strapped as well with the seatbelt.
Yeah.
So why put yourself through that much
risk.
loss and risk? You know. Yeah. So first things first is everyone in the vehicle should be strapped and must be strapped.
So front or back, everybody should have their seatbelt on.
Yes, should have their seatbelt on, properly strapped. That's number one. But today we're focusing on children. So should your child be running around the back seat? No. Answer is no, because no one plans for an accident.
Right.
So when it occurs, but it's best when you're properly strapped in, with your seatbelt. So that's what we're looking at today. So today we have these little props here, right? It's called a booster seat.
Okay, so this is a booster seat?
Yes,
okay.
It's a booster seat for the younger ones.
And it's plastic?
It's plastic.
Plastic on the under, yeah.
Yes, so that's what it's made of. You have different brands out there. You can go online, get it from any online store, and you can have it. What does it do? It helps your child sit better in the vehicle because, one, for children under 12, the best place for them is the back seat.
Right.
Now, when they're under 12, they're not as tall as they should be, when they're much older. So this helps with their height in the vehicle. So when they get strapped up, the latch of the seat belt doesn't hook them by the neck or hurt around the neck.
Right.
So this helps with the height.
To elevate.
Yeah. So once you're properly elevated, then they're properly strapped in.
Okay.
Okay,
so that's why this thing is also there as well.
At the edge,
so
yes.
That the strap can also.
So either the strap is coming in from the left, it can go in here and lock in, or from the right, it can come in here and lock in. So that's why you have this edge here.
Right.
Right. And also, a lot of people don't know that the best space for a child in the vehicle is the back seat and the middle seat.
The middle seat, the best place for a child. So if I had a booster seat like this, I'll just put it right
in the middle,
right.
And you strap the child down. Now this is the booster seat. You also have other types of car seats. For the infant type, there are some that are like the 3-in-1. Some you can use in the car. It can also double as a rocking chair as well.
Right.
Yes.
I've seen one where there was a booster seat, but then there was this back thing as well, which you could detach or
yes,
or
that's
move
the
up
car
and down.
seat.
Okay.
It's also called the car
like
seat.
a standard car seat.
That's the standard car seat, but this is for much older children.
Right.
Because they are more stable in the vehicle. But you can imagine putting a 1-year-old in here. He or she probably won't sit properly.
Yeah, because this is bigger.
It's just bigger and it's just for the base. For the younger children, the babies, they have proper car seats.
Yeah, proper car seats.
That can grab.
That looks like a cradle.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, even for the cradle, you have the rear-facing cradle and the backward-facing cradle, depending on how you position in the car. However, it's still the midpoint in the vehicle that is
That
the
is
safest
best.
place for the car, for the child. Why is this so? If there's an impact from either side, the midpoint really is the crumble zone. It really doesn't crumble. So if a car runs into your vehicle from that
side.
vehicle, either side, the midpoint from statistics has shown
Is
that
safest.
is safest. Yes, that's if you have one child.
Yeah.
But when you have more than one child, of course, it's still the back seat, and you align them properly, have them properly strapped and everything.
So more than one child still means that all the children still have to be strapped.
Strapped at the rear. So the modern day vehicle, especially from 2002, have 3 seatbelt straps at the rear. If you look in your vehicle at home or anywhere, just check, you have 3 at the rear. You know, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so one on either side and then one in the middle.
You know, so they plan for safety as well, because it's a very serious issue for everyone in the vehicle to be. That's why you also have curtain airbags. Older model vehicles don't have curtain airbags. So when there's a crash, you actually have airbags drop from the side.
From the side as well?
From the side of the window, so you don't bang your head against it.
Okay, so that's another idea, which I think more modern cars are having, which is also pretty good as well. So it's absolutely amazing. So it's almost like a lot of people don't know these things, and they seem like stuff that we don't really pay attention to, especially in Nigeria, because you're thinking strap your seats in the front, but you don't think much about the back seat.
That's true. And also, when you're going on a trip with your children, try to keep them engaged. You can have if your car has a DVD player, you can play one of their favorite cartoons.
So that they can stay safe.
They can stay stable, and I mean, throughout that journey. You can also give them their toys in the back seat, so that keeps them stable and concentrated on the car, as opposed to distracting you.
Right, you know,
know,
which is really, really important. And then you getting angry and turning back to try and settle fights and things like that, because that happens to me a lot.
You see?
Yeah, trying to settle fights and stuff. Anyway, Yomi Bosile, we don't have much time, but thank you for that, a little bit of information that you've given us. And maybe this week, some mothers are going to be getting their own booster seats for their vehicles. We're going to be right back after this, still on Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. Now it's time for our SME segment. On SME today, we have the Managing Director of Fuel, an uncommon marketing communications agency that sells only unpopular ideas. Mr. Adetunji Abioye is here. He's a multiculturally trained and exposed marketing practitioner and strategist. Now, he has over 2 decades worth of experience of working with top brands, and it's a pleasure having you in the studio this morning.
It's my pleasure to be here this morning. Good morning, Titi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've been having a chat behind the scenes, and you mentioned that you've been in business now for over 9 years.
That's right.
All right, so this journey, when you started being in that particular space, give us a little insight into how it started.
Okay, all right. So before we started Fuel, some 9 years back, actually started in 2010. I used to be with another agency that's called Roosevelt Bennett. I was MD of Roosevelt Bennett for a couple of years, and then left in 2010 to establish Fuel. The whole idea really was to find, to establish a company that we thought could really provide some bit of oxygen for brands that are aspiring to grow, to do things differently, and also to conquer the markets that they are in, you know. And I think that in 9 years, we've done that successfully with many brands. Many are multinational brands. Some are national brands. And we have clients that cut across different, strata of the Nigerian economy. And,
okay, so I would like to, the company you were working for is a multinational before you started Fuel.
That's
right. There must have been a lot of differences when you started your own business. And of course, there must be some do's and don'ts that you would have been able to figure out in that particular space. If someone's watching right now and they wanted to embark on this journey, what would you advise them?
Okay, so I think the experience that I had with the multinational agency provided a lot of canvas, for me to learn. And I think that clearly, if anybody's watching now who has an idea or is running a young business, for me, I think that the starting point is really to find out really what difference is your idea going to make in the marketplace. Because that sense of differentiation is very crucial. If you're going to the market, you're going to business, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. I mean, most people want to be an entrepreneur, but bottom line is that you must really have an idea that is going to really create a difference or create a new frontier in the marketplace. So what we were able to gain from the beginning was that we thought that, look, we had an idea that was different from what, the agency that hired me was doing, and we thought we needed to test that idea in the marketplace. Okay. Number two is also to understand that if you are starting out a young business, there's a whole need for you to be sure that you have the right members of the team, the right kind of talent in your boat from takeoff. Okay. Because that usually is very important. If a plane is going to take off, usually it's exert maximum, energy for it to really get into the atmosphere. And once it gets there and is able to launch successfully, it's able to now create a momentum and create a balance and be able to soar. So from takeoff, it's very important to have the right kind of people, talent on the boat. Okay. I think it's also important to explain to business owners or aspiring business owners who want to really do things differently and successfully in the market, to also know that the journey into entrepreneurship is a long walk. Mm-hmm. All right?
It's not a sprint.
It's not.
Okay.
So it's important for you to really travel light from takeoff. All right? What I've seen and the error that many entrepreneurs make in this market, and indeed in many other markets, is that sometimes we want to travel as loaded as we want to be from takeoff, and that can be some challenge. Because if you don't watch your weight at takeoff, it can really, really disturb your speed of progress.
I like the way you put it, start small, basically,
right.
is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So there's probably someone who's started their own media communications or marketing company right now, and maybe they're in their second or third year. Mm. How long can you say it took you to really have your feet on the ground? How many years?
I think that by the time we were in our third year,
okay,
all right, we got a sense that we were in it and we're getting some bit of stability. We were lucky at the beginning that, we had clients who believed in, the dream and, the idea that we're bringing to the marketplace. And so we took off with those clients and then we're able to, add value to what they're doing. Because every client wants value. So once you're able to provide some value, then I'm sure that by the time you're doing 3-4 years, you should know where you're headed. But generally in business, it is assumed that if you are going to really make a mark, the first 5 years are crucial. If you don't make that mark in 5 years, chances are that you may not be able to make it.
Okay, so a lot of people view success as how much money they have in their account. Mm. But in many cases, companies end up refueling their business with the finances they make. Mm. So how would you define success as regards your type of business?
Well, I think that for us, we really had what I call, parameters of success. Yes, the money part is important to be assured that you have some bit of liquidity, in your operations. But more than that is also that how much of success are you also able to create for brands that are under your watch? Okay. All right, because that is what is going to keep you in the business for the long haul. All right, so if you're making money off clients and you're not breathing, you're not making impact, to brands that are under your watch, then it's going to be a short walk with the client. So for us, how much of impact we're able to make with those clients are usually very crucial. Okay. The talents that we also hire, how are they able to grow, in the space of their time with us and with the clients that we service is also very important. And of course, how much of other businesses are we able to churn out, looking at how we've taken off from the mother business. Okay. Those parameters are crucial for us.
So now for someone who has been in this business for quite a long time, you must have met some, I don't want to use the word difficult clients. Mm. Should I say challenging clients or very, let's just leave it at that, challenging clients to work with, who believe they know what they want all the time. We were talking a little earlier about some adverts that you might have some amazing ideas. You did say uncommon ideas.
That's right.
That's what we talked about.
That's
so
right.
how are you able to break the uncommon ideas to your clients?
Okay, so I mean, given my experience and indeed the experience of most of the talents that work in our team, what we found is that clients come in different shapes and sizes, and they also do manifest themselves in the way and the culture that is woven around their businesses. So you don't typically have one kind of client. You have different kinds of clients. And if you're running a TTL, a through the line agency, then you must understand that it's important that you have different ways to manage different clients.
Okay.
All right? Some are easier to manage than the others. But the bottom line is that there is one unifying element that cuts across most clients. Everyone in one way or the other is looking for growth.
Okay.
There is hardly anyone that you would create phenomenal growth for his business that will not want to continue to do business with you. Okay. And so that's why we call ourselves growth activists. All right. So what we do really is to find how we can create value that is uncommon for these clients, and then use that to continue to service the business for them.
Honestly, the way you've answered today's questions, I feel like doing business with you, sir. Honestly, I do. But thank you so much for coming to the studio. We have to wrap it up here. But of course, you can tell us what you think on social media. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Sir, this is the breakfast show that actually serves you breakfast. We have an amazing chef who has been preparing something interesting for us.
All right.
Please follow us to the kitchen. All right. Yes, please.
Unusual and uncommon ideas.
Yes.
We're going to be doing an uncommon breakfast for you. Please have a seat, sir.
Okay, so yeah, we have Chef Obey in the house. She made this. So Obey, can you just run us through very, very fast how we came, we did it together, how we came to this.
All we saw you doing was theatrics.
What? You don't see me tasting the, what's it called now? The radish. I had to taste it to ensure.
Talk to us.
So you're talking.
Basically, we did a homemade pasta, rolled it, dried it, boiled it, mixed it in a beurre blanc sauce. It's a white wine sauce. And the protein we have here is a smoked beef brisket. Usually beef brisket is usually a very hard part of the cow, but we smoked it for 9 hours.
Wow.
And low and slow, so it has a very smoked,
Please have a taste.
very flavorful. So enjoy it.
Please have a taste.
Very nice.
Brisket.
It's very nice, actually.
I can smell the different flavors.
This is nice. Oh, can't wait to have more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is tasting.
Chef?
Yes.
Very good.
Really good.
Wonderful.
Really good.
Great.
Well done.
Well done, Chef Obey. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
This is my takeaway.
Ooh, yes,
Wow,
this is
really yummy, really.
I'm just gonna have
Yummy
this.
has just arranged his own packet. You know what?
Chef Obey, how do we hit you up on social media and all of that?
You can find me at Chef Obehi, Instagram. And I have events, I post them. So yeah, so definitely I'll keep you guys up to date.
All right,
Great,
then.
great
Can't
one.
wait.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
A big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories.
And of course, a big thank you to all our guests for joining us on the show today. Lots of motivation to go into the week. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Chef, well done.
Thanks for having me.
Well
And
done.
with that, we
See you
have to
tomorrow.
wrap up, y'all.
See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 6 a.m.
Bye.
Bye.